Hi, it's Mike with AskTractorMike.com. I'm going to talk about a problem today in the farm equipment business that I think is actually getting better. And it's good to find something in our world that is improving. But this is, I think, that's my perception. It's something we still need to be concerned about, but it's getting better. And that is the problem of tractor theft. And I got this letter today that I want to answer from Michael. And Michael said, is there an easy way to install a kill switch or something like that on your tractor to prevent theft? How? Michael, we're going to talk about that today. But I want to talk a little bit about, first, before I talk about how to prevent theft of your tractor, to tell you if you're buying a used tractor, to be really careful you're not buying a stolen used tractor. And that can be a problem. When I was in the dealership world, I had a guy show up one day, wanted to consign a tractor, and he wanted us to sell it for him. And he wanted $9,000 for it, and it was worth more like $12,000, $12,500. And I kept telling him, it's worth more than this. He said, I just want $9,000 out of it. I'm done. I want rid of it. And that raised a big red flag with me. And so after he left the tractor there, I called the sheriff. And sure enough, there was a guy in Tennessee looking for that tractor. It had been stolen. This guy didn't steal it, but he had bought it maybe off the thief and maybe off another party. But anyway, I called the sheriff. He got involved, and that tractor went back to its original owner. And the guy that was trying to consign it was out a bunch of money. And as a dealer, as an auctioneer, as anybody that trades in tractors, it's always good to find out before you buy a tractor or sell a tractor for somebody else, is it stolen? And get the serial number off of it. And serial numbers are funny. They're all in different places. You know, on a car, the serial number's in the windshield, pretty easy to find. The tractor manufacturers, being tractor manufacturers, have never standardized where those serial numbers are. So, you know, on a lot of the older Deeres, they're around the PTO shaft. On the Internationals, they're under the left step. On Masseys, they're under the steering column on the right side. Some of the old Fords had it on the hood, or for you guys in the UK, the bonnet. So they're all over the place. And I'll put a link down below to a website where you can go to find out where the serial number tags are on each model tractor. Very handy tool. So first thing today, if you're buying a tractor, is get that serial number. And remember, get the serial number off the tractor and not off the front end loader, because a lot of times the front end loaders have a serial number too, and it's a lot easier to find than the tractor serial number. So get that serial number, call the sheriff, tell the sheriff, I'm thinking about buying this. Can you run this number and make sure it's not stolen? Okay, let's talk today a little bit about why tractor theft has been such a problem in the past and why it's still a problem. And then I want to talk about what makes it difficult and why it's getting harder to steal tractors. Well, first off, why is it so easy to steal tractors, and why are thieves motivated to do that? Well, first off, tractors do not have titles. So once you buy a tractor, it's yours. You don't have to go down to the Department of Revenue and pay sales tax on it and provide proof of ownership and all that. It's yours, and you can go to using it. So that's number one. Number two, and some of you are going to be mad at me because I'm telling this, because thieves will hear this too, but I figure they already know about it. But tractors have pretty common keys. This is a set of keys off the internet that fits over 500 models. Just I think 23 keys. So if I've got this, I can start about anybody's tractor I want to, and that happens all the time. I remember back a few years ago when the Missouri Highway Patrol broke up a theft ring and had a news conference, and they were showing the tractors they'd recovered, and they recovered about $300,000 worth of equipment, which was great. It was a drop in the bucket, but they also recovered a set of keys that looked just like this that the thief had. So it's easy to start tractors and lift them. The third reason that tractor theft is happening and happens is because it's lucrative. There's high demand for used tractors, and if a guy finds a deal on a used tractor, a lot of times he'll jump on it without asking a lot of questions. And finally, the reason it's so easy to lift tractors is because a lot of times those of us that live in the country have our tractors in the barn and we may not use them every day. And so a thief comes while you're gone, lifts the tractor, and it may be a couple of days before you go in the barn and find it gone. Or worse yet, a lot of folks are moving to the country. They'll build the outbuilding first, get a tractor to take care of the place, and then build a house later. And so they may live in town, come out to the country on weekends, and in the winter they may miss a weekend or two and come out to get on the tractor and it's gone. So a lot of tractors are stored in remote areas. That makes them easy prey for thieves. Now I want to talk about 4 reasons that theft may be getting a little bit better. And 2 of these have always existed, but number 1 is if you're going to steal a tractor, you're probably going to do it in the dark. And it's hard to get a tractor loaded in the dark and get it chained down and get it out of there. Number 2, the chances of getting caught are pretty good, because if you're driving a tractor on a trailer down the road at 2:30 in the morning and a guy like me sees you, I'm going to follow you, get your license number, call the highway patrol and say, hey, this is kind of weird, this guy's moving a tractor at 2:30 in the morning. Don't you want to pull him over and talk to him? So it's difficult work, and it's a good chance of getting caught. Now, when I worked in the dealership world, we had a theft one night of a utility vehicle after it had snowed, and we could see exactly what the guy had done. He had taken one of the used tractors we were working on, picked a utility vehicle like a gator or a mule, put it over the fence, drove it to a remote area where there was nobody around, and loaded it in the dark in the snow and driven off with it. And I'm like, I would hire this guy and pay him a premium as a truck driver if he's that good at loading stuff. It's not that easy to load a tractor and get it chained down in the dark, but this guy could do it. So he could have made an honest living, but he stole a 4-wheeler off of us, or a utility vehicle off of us, and got away. So it's tough work, and a lot of people just in this day and time can probably, if you're going to be a thief, you could probably swindle people on the internet quicker than you can go out and steal a tractor and resell it. So those are 2 reasons it's getting better. A 3rd reason it's getting better, and I think this is going to accelerate. Right now, manufacturers are struggling to get pieces and parts to put tractors together to deliver to dealers. And so tractors are being given unique parts. Each tractor, like let's say you've got a tractor that's all ready to deliver and you can't get seats for it, or you can't get rims for it. And maybe you change suppliers, and that's happening. You're seeing tractors that one off the line is different than the next one off the line, because they're getting whatever components they can to get on that tractor so it can be sent out and sold. So there's going to be serial numbers breaks for different pieces and parts on the tractor. So when you go in to get parts for the tractor, and this has been happening anyway, you'll have to provide the serial number for that tractor in order to get the right part. And thieves know this. And so it's a deterrent to theft when you have to provide the serial number to get parts for your particular tractor. And that's happening more and more with parts departments, and that's a good thing. And finally today, the thing that is really slowing down thieves and getting tractors is cameras and GPS. A lot of folks have a cheap, and they're cheaper than they've ever been, camera system in their barn watching over that tractor that'll take a picture of the thief if he tries to lift it. And they've also got a GPS device mounted somewhere hidden on that tractor. And the minute that thing starts to move, they get alerted. I've got a neighbor that's got GPS on everything he owns. And the best thing for a thief is for the police to get there before my neighbor does. Because I'm telling you, if he finds you lifting his equipment, you're not going to end well. And I don't know they'll ever find you, but that's another story. So having those GPS devices is helping deter thievery in a big way, and that's good news. Finally today, I'm going to talk about 5 things you can do to minimize the potential of your tractor being stolen, or if it does get stolen, to minimize the amount of impact that it has on you. And to answer Michael's question, Michael, should you have a kill switch? Absolutely. We wired hundreds of them on in the dealership where I used to work. And I'm going to show a couple of pictures from ones that were wired on at the dealership where I used to work. This particular kill switch kills the injection system. So you can crank the tractor and crank it and crank it and crank it. It won't start until you find this key that's in a very secluded place on the tractor. And this particular tractor's got a kill switch in the electrical system. And you can turn the key, it won't start, it won't turn over, it won't do anything. The accessory light will come on, but the tractor won't start. So you could wire one of these kill switches in, and surely most dealers know how to do this. So if you tell them you want it done, have that kill switch added into the tractor when you buy it, and then when you leave it for an extended period of time, take that key out. It won't completely stop a thief, but it'll sure slow them down. Now, a couple of other things you can do that are completely related, and that is disconnect a safety switch. That is pretty easy for a thief to find, but if they just hit one hiccup, maybe they'll go on to somebody else's tractor. And the best thing you can do if you're going to leave that tractor out over the winter is take the battery out of it, take it home, put it in the garage on a 2x4 and put a trickle charger on it, and you're done. If the thief is going to have to steal a tractor, he's going to have to winch it out, or he's going to have to go buy a battery or steal a battery. Now, on the topic of winching, number 2 thing you can do to prevent a thief from stealing your tractor is, let's say you've got a kill switch and you've got that thing protected where they can't start it. If it's where they can easily winch it onto a truck, and they don't care if they tear up your brush hog or anything while they're winching it on, that makes it a lot easier. So if I were going to leave my tractor out for a while, I might think about putting my pallet forks on the tractor, lifting my brush hog up, backing it in front of the tractor and dropping it where it'd keep them from winching that tractor on. If they want that tractor, they've got to winch the brush hog out of the way and then winch the tractor onto the truck. And that's going to be more than most thieves want to do. Number 3 thing you can do today to deter thieves is what I mentioned earlier. Put cameras in your shop that are motion activated and put a GPS system on that tractor and have it tied into a system that notifies you if that tractor moves. I hope a lot of people do this, and we catch a lot of thieves. It'll put a stop to tractor theft pretty quick. Number 4 thing you can do, if your tractor's stored out in an open area, get to know your neighbors. Let them know, I'm going to leave this tractor out here, and you got to have neighbors you can trust. And I have neighbors in my area that I totally trust, but I could tell a half a dozen of them if I was going to be gone for a couple of weeks. If you see that tractor move or see any suspicious activity, give me a call, and they would do it. And I think neighborhood watch is a great thing. So that's the number 4 thing you can do. And finally today, this won't prevent theft, but in the case that you have a theft, if you've got full replacement value insurance, or you get a brand new tractor, that'll minimize the effects on you of tractor theft. And that's a great investment. A lot of times it's not that much more expensive than the other type of insurance is. But let's say you've got a tractor that's 4 years old and you've got 300 hours on it. It's a cream puff. You've taken totally great care of it, and it gets stolen, and you don't have full replacement insurance. Finding another tractor with 300 hours for what they're going to pay you for that tractor is going to be really tough. So get that full replacement insurance, so if it's stolen, they buy you a new one and you go on with life. Like I said before, I think tractor theft is getting better, and that's good news for all of us, but there's some steps you can take to minimize the effects of that. And I think, especially going into winter, when you're going to leave that tractor for long periods of time, it's a good time to think about preventing tractor theft. I appreciate you watching my videos. I'd be honored if you'd subscribe to my YouTube channel. That's real easy. Just click the mic face icon and check the bell so you're notified when I post future videos. Here's a link to my website and the Tractor Fun Store with really cool items for sale for the tractor owner. It helps support my YouTube channel. And here's another video you might want to watch. Thanks for watching.